Vehicle rollovers represent a high risk of severe injury or death for those involved. On the road, inappropriate speeds increase the risk of rollovers, especially on corners. And the centre of gravity of heavy vehicles also changes depending on the characteristics of the load being transported. This also increases rollover risk in some situations. International studies show around 65% of heavy vehicle incidents related to rollover and lateral stability occur on curves or corners. The Australian Road Research Board, or ARB, reports that 29% of heavy vehicle rollover crashes result in serious injury or death. 26% occur in an intersection, and 51% are single vehicle crashes. The type of vehicle and the load determines the centre of gravity. If a vehicle centre of gravity is towards one side or the other, or high, the rollover risk increases.
Well, there's two types of rollovers. There's one where there's a steering error, and there's another one which you call a trip. You hit a gutter, edge of a roundabout, that's the trip rollover, and the other one is the 2-second syndrome, where you go one way and then the other way within 2 seconds. That momentum will whip your back trailer, and all rollovers start from the back axles. They don't start from the front. And a lot of times you interview guys and have a look at film footage and all that, the driver doesn't even realise the vehicle's going into a rollover and he can't recover it. You'll only feel it when there's actually torque on the prime mover and the prime mover's starting to lift wheels and things like that. So and the other thing is too, rollovers can occur in a normal 70, 80k zone type big roundabout. It doesn't take much to trip a truck.
Probably height, I'd say. Centre of gravity, in exact words. Maybe turning, I've seen a rollover in a roundabout, so that was the driver's fault, I'd say, that he was going too fast. He went into the roundabout too fast. Yeah. Rollovers, and the other thing is, it's happened to my brother. He's rolled over a truck where it was a wet day, and the way he's explained it, or the way that the final decision was that the truck actually aquaplaned.
So he got badly hurt, did he?
No, but it's just a psychological thing.
Just shook him up.
Yeah, it's really shook him up.
Consider what you can do as a driver to reduce rollover risk. Drive to the conditions and lower your speed. Know the vehicle that you're driving. Keep in mind the type of load that you're transporting. Consider the surface, stability and slope of the area. Make sure the vehicle you're driving is in optimal condition. Ensure the load is properly secured. Plan, prepare and train for high-risk situations caused by external factors, such as weather or road conditions. And remember, trucks require more space and longer distances to manoeuvre safely. Think safe speeds for heavy vehicles.
How would you describe the risk and consequences of a heavy vehicle rollover for the driver and those around?
Oh, look, for the driver, probably from an anxiety point of view, almost put him out of the industry. It's a terrifying experience. You're not in control. You've got no control what's going on or where it's going. It can affect him that way. It can affect him to the point where perhaps this isn't the industry for me, so that flows on to family, income, and all that. The damage, I think I've seen a stat somewhere that a rollover's worth $1 million.
depending on the speed they're doing, but anyone generally in, say, a 5 metre sort of distance, if the truck's rolling, they could be killed. The driver himself's more than likely going to end up with some variation of a broken bone because, well, we're not race car drivers, we're not trained to relax. So they're probably going to break a shoulder, do some sort of damage and massive amount of whiplash. I know on some job sites, like the roads won't be of any kind of standard, and the road will just come away and the truck will drop down. But 9 times out of 10, they'll just drop down. They won't roll over. It's usually, if a truck was to roll over from something like that, there's a long line of people that are at fault for something like that. But that's why you always should be wearing your seatbelt no matter what. Doesn't matter whether you're on a job site, whether you're getting loaded, doesn't matter where you are. But it's just basic safety.
I take a lot of pride in how I drive. I wouldn't say it's like a video game. It's more of it's a constant challenge to be the best I can be day in, day out. You know what I mean? Like to stick in my lane, to stick a corner. I've driven floats, 4-axle floats that are massive and be able to get them around corners. And it doesn't matter whether it's that or it's just a tandem. I guess take pride in what you do. Take pride in your truck. Look after your equipment. Slow down. Be aware. Always look ahead. Be conscious of the damage you could do, and think about other people's families on the road.
What would you recommend other heavy vehicle drivers know to mitigate the risk of rollovers?
Take your time. If you haven't been on a job site before, if you haven't done a specific thing before, always take your time. Whether you're on an hourly rate or not, that's taking an extra 10 minutes out of your day to make sure that you're safe. It makes a difference between you going home and not. Just take your time. That's it. It's not rocket science. There's no point rushing, especially if you don't trust something. If you don't trust the road you're on, you're not sure. Driving up through Buller or something, there's some pretty windy roads through there. If you've got your doubts on that, just go slow.
It's just such a massive vehicle. You know what I mean? It's I'm only a 3-axle trailer and I'm running, fully loaded with truck, and that's 49.5 ton. It's unfathomable. You know what I mean? People don't realise that, with rubber underneath you, you got a chance to stop. But if you go on the side and you're on metal on asphalt, that thing's going to keep going. So that's scary. You know what I mean? That's it's just injury, death.
What can a company do to reduce rollover risk? Choose the right vehicle for the job. Establish and reinforce safe practices for loading and unloading. Introduce new technologies and safety features for heavy vehicles that can help prevent rollovers and keep vehicle occupants safe in case they do occur. Train your staff on how to manage high-risk factors and respond to high-risk situations. Ensure your staff are familiar with different factors that affect rollover risk. Include in the training program specifics about different types of vehicles, loads, and their interactions. And in the route selection process, consider factors that could increase rollover risk.